right, welcome everyone to Computer Fundamental Fridays, December 13th, 2019. Oh, I see someone else has connected to my screen. Very good. All right. Today's topic is going to be OneNote, and we're going to take a kind of an overview look, kind of dive into some of the tools and functionality of it. If you have any questions along the way, feel free to ask pretty much anything that you want to. That brings me up to my next slide, which essentially says that I'm certainly not a know-it-all. Probably won't be able to answer every question if I'm asked, but I will do my best in order to help you out, do some research, and get back with you if I can't answer it on the call. But also, these trainings are for really anyone, so I'm going to try to start them off as basic as I can, and then we'll dive into some more advanced things. And it may be too basic for some, it may be a little advanced for others, but this one is for staff and everyone who accesses Office 365, since it is OneNote application. Actually, I believe Windows 10 computers may have the application by default, so this may apply to you as well, anyone that has Windows 10. And if you don't have, I see we have 3 viewers, if you don't have access to Office 365, please send me an email and we will communicate with you and your District Attorney General in order to get that. All right, so let's go ahead, get into OneNote. I'm going to open up mine. This is, if you're not familiar with what OneNote is, it's pretty much a notebook, a digital notebook that allows you to create notebooks, sections, pages, store and keep pretty much anything that you want to that is related to digital information. It's a great tool to use if you need to refer to topics, especially being in the legal field. If you have certain code or just all sorts of different things, whether it be in text, whether it be on a PDF, whether it be through a video or a link or really anything. It's a quick reference tool. I'm actually going to start using it more in my private life as well versus just work life because of what it can do. And it is pretty well laid out. There's a lot that can be done with it. Certainly makes accessing information that you refer to over and over. Definitely, I'm going to go into some of the things that we use it for. But you can see in the upper left-hand corner, all I'll pretty much do in this whole training is I'm just going to go through each tab, take a look at the tools, and then hopefully you'll get some ideas on how you can implement this application into your daily life or the work days or into your practice, etc. So I'm going to switch over real quick. This is where you can change notebooks. I'm just going to show you the conference notebook. This is one that everyone in the conference office has access to. I refer to this all the time. There's different sections that, of course, each person that it involves, they'll be adding the information and the data to this. But the way that everything works within this, this was a PDF. Well, actually, this was a screenshot taken from a PDF that got easily imported into the application. Let me switch that to 2019. We'll get that more current. But this is just one way. You can see right here we are in a notebook. If I click on the drop down, you could create notebooks, and you would want to do that especially if you are thinking about sharing anything with someone else. It won't actually share individual pages or sections. It will actually share the entire notebook with that person. So you want to be aware of that in the beginning. But after you have the notebook set up, what it will do is it will store or be stored in your OneDrive, so you'll have access to this application not only from your computer, as long as you have the OneNote app installed, but you also have access to it through the portal, and it will reference the same information, give you access in both areas. The within this, you can see all of these different sections. Kind of that's the way we have it designed, is just kind of like a general overall section. And then as you add more detailed information, then you would add a page, which you can see these are down at the bottom left-hand corner of the screen. So within this was a screenshot. If you ever want to add a PDF or a picture or anything of that nature, it's real simple to do. You can also use the resizing mechanism real well. So you can, if it's a little blurry, you can resize it down to a smaller size, kind of making it a little less pixelated, but then of course blow it up. It will keep the dimensions intact as you pull and drag over. I'm going to keep that exact same size, so it's not, unless you choose to select the right or left side control. I hope you can see the little squares right here on this page. So that's this is just quick reference. Nice way if you have to, once again, refer back to something. So we've got holidays, auto liability. Nice thing if you're traveling and on the road, if something happens and you need to reference information, we all tend to be forgetful at a lot of different things. I guess science is proving that our brains are not really designed to be memory banks, but more creative banks. Whether it's true or not, I have no idea, but that's what some people are pointing at. So just a quick reference. All you'd have to do is open up the app and then go back here. So if you were involved in an accident, you could look back at this information. And then the beautiful part about this is, unlike other individual documents, etc., you don't have to scroll and open up an individual document for this app. It's the app, and then you just scroll and get to the sections that you need, to the pages that you need the information from, and you don't have to have one document for this and another document for that. It's all done through these the notebooks and the tabs and the information that's on them. Just more information. So that's these are all. I believe this was an actual PDF that got imported in, and whenever we get to that point, I'll show you the question that it will ask you. Let's go ahead. We'll switch back to Tech Training Department notebook. You can create any that you want to here. You've got the section below. Just click on the button. It will allow you to add that section. Click on that. And then over here to the upper middle, or the second column, you'll see Untitled Page. It automatically adds that. If you needed to add another one, you could certainly do that. And it will stay untitled until you title the page. And then from there, you can use your mouse to click down below, tab down, automatically begin typing, etc. And whenever you begin to use this, hope you can see the box or the text box that it creates. It will automatically, and I'm not sure how far out it goes. I think it depends on it depends on a certain frame. So if you use a notebook that would be enlarged, say, entire screen, you could easily resize that to make it even farther. Just click on the cell. This is the right side cell wall. Once it's right over there in the middle, just click on it, drag, and move it all the way over. You can, of course, resize that, any of those that you want, to get you the formatting that you need. If you click outside of it, it will create another one, and you could, of course, have multiple ones and have those all over and over, and they will each be their own individual text box that you can drag around, move around, do whatever you want to with them. So that would be the first little bit. Let's go up to, we're in Home. I'm sure pretty much everyone is familiar with the formatting. If you've used Word, easily changing the text or the font, the size of the font. You You can easily do any of those. We can change this to Arial. Let's make it 18 point and bold. So you can do really whatever you want to with it. Of course, your bold, italic, underline, highlight does a little differently. What you'll need to do is make the selection first, then click on the highlight or the highlighter, and then that will begin to highlight the text that's within the text box. Change the font color. Of course, before, if you were to click on any of those, you would need to have the text highlighted in order to apply that. But you can, and you'll notice that after I did that, it did unselect all of it. So you would need to highlight it again if you wanted to maybe change the background color, etc. And the rest of the stuff, pretty self-explanatory. Maybe if you had a bulleted list, you can click right there. You can see that you can really add a lot of things. You can make it a big cluster as well, so it could become a nuance if you really don't stay organized. But the whole part of this is to stay as organized as possible. So we'll go ahead, let's delete these. And you can just click on, I always try to click on the little control right here where you can drag and drop it. Once you do that, you can easily delete it. Right over here to the right, of course that's paragraph formatting. If you wanted to create a tag, these are the tags which would apply whatever it is you want to do. Maybe if you wanted to create a to-do list, you could begin to do that. So say Friday, get office. Once you hit enter, it will automatically apply a second checkbox, and the way that you would use this would just be click in it, applies the check mark, another click takes it away. Pretty simple. Let's click down here. And you can see if I click, okay, there we go. I went far enough out. There we go. So let's get a heading in here. I'm going to highlight all of that. And up here, this box allows you to change the style, whether it's paragraph, a heading, certain things specific to what you are trying to achieve. So we'll get a heading, we'll make it bold, and we'll increase that to 22. Pretty self-explanatory stuff. Now this, the next thing is the dictate, and I was playing around with this a couple weeks ago. Well, actually on last week's call, and this allows you to use Office dictation. So I'm going to launch this back up, and we'll just take a quick look at it. So once I click on the button, you can see it misspelled a little bit, but this would be nice to do hands-free typing. I can't really prove this since there's no camera on me, but I am not typing. I am speaking into my headphone with speaker or microphone. And then click on the dictate button. That stops it. Okay, so that did stop it. So then you can see here it does a pretty decent job. You'll certainly probably want to go back through and make sure that you make any edits or changes to it if you were using that and it did not properly translate or dictate the words that you spoke into it. But to be hands-free, kind of nice. All right, let's go move on to the Insert tab. A lot of things you can do with this. Tables, I'm sure you all are pretty familiar with this. We'll go ahead. We're in a new area. Let's get rid of view. Clean up some of this mess. Go right back. I'm going to insert a table. If we click on the table button, it gives you the option to select how many table columns, rows, etc. that you need. So we'll go ahead and we'll just select this. And if you get to the end of the column and press enter, it will automatically add a new row or an additional row below. So you'll have that capability. This is one that we have and use Office telephone numbers, extensions, and additional information. Use it heavily, and whenever someone comes or leaves or added to the staff or retires or whatever the case may be, we try to keep it done alphabetically so that the cells and everything will shift on a regular basis. So if you wanted to delete any of those or add, all you have to do is just a real quick single right-click on that, go to Table, and then you could either delete. If you delete the table, it will take the whole thing away, so you'd want to probably avoid that. You always have the ability to get it back. But if you want to insert one below or above, that would be your choice. And that way we've got additional rows. And within here, what I like to do is just to highlight the actual top row, create the text that I have, and then I like to apply a formatting or a background color to the cell, and that way it just kind of stands out a little bit. Say if you had the employee name, phone, extension, etc. And you can always adjust the size. My zoom, well, let's leave it as it is. Adjust the size of each individual cell or table that you have here. Each row, you can adjust that. If you wanted to separate one because you're going to add a new section or something, you'd want to skip down below. Let's see if it will allow that. There we go. And then apply it here, because if you add anything to this actual row, if you do something below and you want it to be a different size, this is going to apply to that entire column. So it's pretty much tables. You see here, you can highlight the whole thing by clicking on that little side item. We'll make the selection for the entire row. File, moving on to that, you can see here you can add an attachment, insert that. Whenever you do that, let's go ahead, we'll go to images. You can do several different ways with this. You can insert it, or say if you have, an image folder, or you're wanting to add something to that, you can do a quick, simple drag and drop right onto it, and it automatically inserts it. You can make the adjustment for that picture or attachment. If you have since I guess we're on this kind of section, if you have a PDF and you want to insert that PDF, all you have to do, you can also do a drag and drop as well. And go to My PDFs. Say we have this certificate. You can click, drag, drop. It will then ask you how you want to do this. So you could upload it to OneDrive and insert it as a link. If you insert it, it automatically adds it as an attachment if you do the insert as printout. But if you insert as attachment, it will be a file that you'll need to double click on in order to open. So I would make the selection for insert as printout. And what that's going to do is give you the ability to insert that PDF, which is converted into an image, and it also includes the attachment. So I usually delete the attachment and go right back here and then make the alignments that I need to for this to work with my title page. All right. Any questions about anything up to this point?
No, I'm good.
Good. Yeah, pretty self-explanatory stuff. Pictures and printout, just kind of went through that. the one thing I really like about this, let me go to one of our videos. I like this because it's quick reference and you can actually play videos inside the OneNote app itself. So I'm going to insert a link. So we'll do click online video. I'm going to paste this URL. Click OK. And you can see here this allows us to view the video. I don't have the system audio enabled on this to play, but you can see here that it automatically goes through. And right from within this application, you can watch videos. Maybe if there's some legal information that you need to refer back to, but you don't want it stored in another or a different app, maybe an email or something like that, or you're maybe trying to condense or clean up something. You just put it all here and come back and reference that. Pretty nice. Next.
If you put it, if you put it in there, is that the only place it's going to be?
Well, it will be in this page.
That page, okay. Well, I'm trying to get my head around it. So, because I'm trying to. Can you put a link in to click on that will take you to someplace else to see something else, like see like that video, and rather than put the whole video in?
Well, this actually is the link.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
It just gives you that. It's got that built-in web player. So then, yeah, instead of it actually like downloading the video, yeah, this is an actual link.
Okay.
So yeah, it has the actual link right here where you can see it says "Welcome to our channel."
Okay.
Let's see if it gives us any added details. Let's see. I'm going to copy that. Let's open up Notepad and we'll see if it. Yeah. So it's referring.
Okay.
That was the link that I copied. Once I pasted it, yeah, it shows the link. But yeah, that's just really an embedded or built-in player that allows you to do it, but it's not actually going to put that video in your app, and of course, take up hard drive space.
Right.
It is
right.
an online video.
Good. Okay.
Awesome. So that would take us to the next thing. Inserting a link is exactly what we did there. Pretty much the same thing applies there. Audio. This is cool. If you're driving down the road, an idea pops into your mind, or maybe if you're needing to use this for, any of the cases that you're working on, all you have to do is let's go to a section where it's not on the video. We'll just click on audio, and it has a built-in recorder that allows you to just use a microphone that you have from your computer to record. You can see here it does show the toolbar that allows you to verify that. Once it is recorded, then you can go back and use it for transcribing or a variety of things. But I've got 15 seconds of recording time there. Just talking to this or through this. We'll go ahead and click stop, and then right here you have the audio file. I'm going to see if I can copy that to my desktop. I'm going to have to move this over. Not seeing anything happening yet. So it looks like it kept it there, which that's perfectly fine. I guess I will need to copy, paste. Okay, very good. So I've got it on my desktop now. So you can see here, title page, M4A, 310 kilobyte audio file. Let's just check the properties. Created today at 1:56 p.m. Shows the size of it, and essentially it's just the recording from what I was speaking through the microphone on. Let's go back over here. So just nice, quick little way to put some audio together. Go back to insert. Meeting details. This is kind of nice if you're needing to keep meeting minutes and notes. What this does is it essentially creates kind of like the heading. So let's go ahead and get rid of all this. And you can see each one, or each little section, or not section, but each little text field pretty much requires you to delete that. All right, I got a Teams message. Meeting details, if I click on that, it's just pretty much going to take the date, and you can start taking notes. Select it does connect to your Outlook calendar, so it takes the actual meeting details that you have applied, and you can see here once I click on that, shows the meeting date, Outlook item, etc. Kind of applies some of that information there, and based on using your Outlook calendar and this app and that meeting details function, you could then begin to take notes. All right, symbols. It's pretty self-explanatory. Click on that, allows you to apply any symbol currently available. Let me see if I can. If you want to adjust the size of it, just highlight it and then go into the Home tab and make adjustments for that. Be applied there. Math, you can solve and create math equations. We'll go ahead and leave that alone. Stickers. There's a pretty neat little function on this that was pretty cool that I noticed has been added. If I click on this, so I clicked on the stickers button, and we want to, let's say, add something. You can then add any of the text that you want. And it will automatically adjust that based on the text that you type. So it will resize it. So pretty neat. You can create your own meme and then upload it to Facebook or Twitter and get something started viral. All right. This little researcher option. Let's go back to the section. Researcher really just allows you to find resources and kind of use everything internally within this app. You can see here it does have things that trending options. It does use the Bing search engine in order to do that. And then, of course, you can adjust the settings of that down here at the bottom right-hand corner. Pretty much some of the features found here in the insert area. Next, we have Draw. And this is nice. I got asked a question today about tablets, laptops, etc. If you use this application, Keep Notes, you don't actually have to have a stylus if you want to keep a page or a notebook or a section, but primarily since we're on a page here, if you want to keep things where there are actual signatures, you can use this draw feature. Now, of course, on a tablet that has a stylus or allows you to use your finger, you can easily use it to make any of these drawings. But say if you had something that you wanted to had text and you wanted a signature, you could easily just use your mouse. I'm on a desktop computer, just using my mouse to create and store this. And you can use it just like pretty much like a tablet within this application. You also have the highlighter, and all of these are pretty much just different pens, markers, styles, styluses, erasers, etc. But if you had certain text that you wanted to highlight, all you'd have to do is just make that selection for the highlighter, and then click and drag. And then you can highlight the text that you need to, easily erase it or take it away by clicking on the eraser and then clicking on the actual highlight. Of course, it gets rid of all of it when it does not have a connector, so that would take take the whole thing away. Moving on to shapes. Allows you to add any shape that you desire. It's usually just going to be a click drag. It will apply the currently selected pin. So if I needed to change that, because we wanted something different, let's go back there. Let's see, and we may want to adjust the thickness. So you can see that applies that. So just different little things you can add and use with that. Oops, I need to go back. If you do need to move it around, you will need to go back or click on this, select objects or type text. Then that would allow you to go back and be able to move and drag and drop any of those items. Next is the View tab. This one's pretty neat. It has some neat features. Delete. I thought I just clicked on the delete key, but there we go. Immersive Reader. This, if there was text on the page, let me copy something real quick. Or I can just go to a. So we'll just use this. So we got topics for videos. Probably haven't done any of those yet. If you click on this Immersive Reader, what it will do is it will throw up full screen and will allow you, it will automatically, I don't know if you can see that. Let me see if I can resize this. There we go. So you can see here, Immersive Reader will take, say if you wanted to take a break from reading, all you have to do is click on that button down here. It would is the play button. What it will do is it will automatically, I'm going to click play, and it's automatically going to read this in a computer-based voice, but essentially allow you to, take a break from give your eyes a break from having to read. But you can just play whatever text is on that section that it's reading from. Different little feature there. Can of course change or modify the couple things within that based on the speed that you want it to be read, as well as the voice selection. Go back. So pretty neat. All right. Let's see. I think I was in new where I was doing all that. In here, view. Of course, you can zoom in, zoom out, make adjustments to the size that you're reading. If you wanted to adjust the page color, you could apply that, add additional colors, etc. Get rid of view. This is one I like. The only thing that I kind of wish it did was allow you each return on the keyboard, any press of return would actually size onto the page on each line. But other than that, it does pretty good. It's going to be the exact same. You can always adjust the formatting for the text that you have in any way that you need to. So if you maybe wanted to do double spacing, etc., try to get it aligned. But as you can see, it's not perfect. May need to adjust font size and or other things, but more than likely it's not going to be the text aligning on the exact line as it looks. But for the most part, that's pretty well it. Some other things you can do with this. You can see here notifications. Gives you some idea of recently used on another device, etc., and whatnot. So it kind of gives you a heads up on what's going on. Now, the OneNote, one thing I forgot to mention, the OneNote that you're using may not be the exact version that I have. I had formatted my hard drive and then reinstalled the OS. And then after I updated some of the things, I think got diverted, and or this may even be a basic version of OneNote compared to some of the features that you have. But say if we had this this actual notebook, if we wanted to share this, pretty simple. In the upper right-hand corner, you have the page sync status. Tell me what you want to do, notifications, and then share. What you want to do is, if you wanted to share, definitely click on the anyone with the link can edit, because you certainly don't want that. And this is one thing that I'm going to be sending out in the monthly newsletter. Yeah, you can now set a password on this and anything that you share within OneDrive, and then also block the download. So say if you share out a document and you don't want your recipient downloading the document, you just want them to read only, you can do that as well. Now, of course, they could take a screenshot, but they wouldn't have actual access to the original document as they have in the past.
Is this for the online? This is the one you're using is the online version. I usually use the desktop version, but is the share button on the desktop version also, or the link settings?
I've actually got the version that and I haven't spent a whole lot of time taking a look at it, but I've actually got the app. I'm using the desktop version, but it's the dumbed down version.
Yeah, I was gonna say mine looks completely different. So.
Yeah, and I haven't uninstalled or tried to figure out why. I think I did try to update and reinstall the Office software, but yeah, it just chooses to make the selection for this version. But yeah, you should have the actual that share button, and all whether they update through channeling. So whether you have the exact settings that I have right now,
okay,
you may not. But I think I know on the past few computers that I had looked at, the sharing features within OneDrive did have the exact same ones that you're seeing on the screen.
Okay,
right
good,
now.
Good. That's good.
Yeah, it should be. And the block download, I noticed that was on a district computer back in November. It was not on mine. It took probably a couple of weeks for that to get installed on mine or updated as that got pushed out. But yeah, definitely all there now. So when it comes to sharing, just want to reiterate, definitely choose specific people. You can see whenever that happened or occurred that it took away the password and also the expiration date. This one we're definitely recommending because it's two-factor. Pretty much alleviates anyone who receives that email. Could be sent from anyone or forwarded from anyone that you send it to. Alleviates that third party or whoever has accidental access to it or gets it. Prevents them from being able to access and delete or do whatever they want to do with it according to how you set it up.
Okay. That's good to know.
And in the upper right-hand corner here, where your options are, settings, you can see it's definitely, I will take a look at that, Terry, before next week's, because, yeah, this one pretty simplified, but yeah, this is the installed app.
All right.
But,
yeah, it looks totally different than mine. So.
yeah, and I like the older way.
I like the other way a lot better. So,
yeah,
and that's what I use most of the time.
Yep. Yeah. All right. Well, that is all that I have, and I think next week I'm going to go ahead and try to troubleshoot that, get the other one on my computer, and then. There may be a whole slew. I know that sharing has some different things, and you've got quite a few different and or advanced features in that other version than what I've currently got on my computer. But that is all that I have for this week's fundamentals.
All righty, thank you. It opened a lot of questions, so I'm going to probably have to play with it, and I'm getting ready to start a new program here, so this is helpful. Thank you.
Cool. Good.
Yeah.
It helped. Very good.
All right. Talk to you later, Brady.
All right.
Bye.
Have a great weekend, Terry.
You too. Bye.
Hey, Brady, thanks a lot.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks
You have a great
thanks for
weekend.
attending. All
Oh,
right, you too,
absolutely.
Daryl.
I'll see you next week, hopefully.
Sounds great. Hope to.
Bye-bye.
See you then. Bye-bye.